And joining us in the studio for a brand new segment on a brand new season of ARIRANG Radio and the Kulture Inc. is David Kim. David, welcome to our program, man.
Hello, everybody. My name's David. Glad to be here and an honor to be here with the one and only SJ.
One and only.
Yeah.
I feel honored for you to say one and only SJ because you are the only one. Well, you're not the only David Kim. I know many David Kims.
Yep.
You're a famous YouTuber, man.
I wouldn't say famous, but I have had a presence online for like about 8 years.
Jeez.
Making content mostly about Hallyu and like Korean K-pop and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's about it.
I remember when you came in for the meeting and then you were just kind of watching the show from outside and then I noticed you joined our chat.
Yeah.
And it was DK TV.
Right.
And then one of our listeners, Sukasa, is like, wait a minute. What is DK TV doing here?
Yeah, as I've told you, I've been online for a while, and there's a lot of our subscribers and all, and I think they overlap with ARIRANG as well too. Yeah.
You do YouTube, and that's mostly based on what, like K entertainment, right?
Yes, K news, K entertainment, K pop, anything that has a K, and it's a good time to be a YouTuber like that.
And you're also a podcaster because you got this thing called the Korean Pizza Club.
Yes.
What do you talk about there?
So there we go a little bit more in depth about the K culture. K-pop's more on like the surface level, but I go in deep, like what's it like being a Korean at this age and like explain all these kind of cultural norms. Yeah.
So that's basically what we're going to do. We're going to bring the pizza into the studio.
Oh.
And talk about all that stuff. But interestingly though, you have, I believe, some of the guests on that podcast are either former ARIRANG people, right? Who is it? Subini.
Yeah, Subini was on there. I noticed Jerry was on there.
Jerry, you guys are
friends,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, yeah, a lot of friends.
Jerry's gone and we brought in his friend.
Hey.
So that's how things work here. But it's Chuseok. Any plans? Are you going? I mean, you're here right now.
Well, I'm originally from Busan, so my parents are all there. But unfortunately, I was unable to get the tickets this year. Like, that's crazy to like get the tickets.
And you don't want to drive down there.
No, that is hell. So yeah, I would not attempt doing that. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna stay in Seoul, just catch up with work maybe.
He's a workaholic.
Yeah.
He's doing work nonstop.
I live alone and maybe that might tie to today's topic in a sense. But
no, if you live alone, you gotta meet a lot of girls. That's what you gotta do, David.
During Chuseok?
Yes, Chuseok. There's all the people that aren't going down hometown.
That makes sense actually.
You know what I used to do during Chuseok?
Oh,
nightclub.
Oh, really? Okay. The one and only SJ.
In my 20s. In my 20s.
All right.
Give us again. We sort of told our listeners what you can expect from K-Trend Monitoring Office.
Right.
So we're really going to delve into all sorts of stuff. Like, give us a look into what we're really going to delve into.
Today, you mean, right?
Yeah, today.
Yeah, so today we're going to go into the topic, why are young Koreans not getting married? I feel like this is the hot potato. It's been for a while now. Everybody is talking about it, the news, the media, like everybody online. And I think it's the perfect time to talk about this because it's Chuseok. And for those of you who don't know what the relation is, during Chuseok, the families gather in Korea, and the most asked question to young Koreans is, when are you going to get married?
Yep.
And that's quite a stressful one, to be honest. Like, as a young Korean myself and it's not married, because like your grandpa or grandma always nags you, oh, I want to see my grandson, my grandchild and all. And you don't have any plans for that. You don't even have like a relationship going on. So like, I'm like, oh yeah, grandpa, I'll come back maybe next year with it. So, I mean, not to set the mood down, but like, unfortunately, my grandpa passed away.
Okay. Not too long ago, right?
Yeah. So, like, while I have like a double feeling right now, because like, I remember the days when my grandpa used to ask me that and I was like stressed about it. And I was like, oh, I wish he wouldn't ask me that.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, oh, I kind of like, long it.
Yeah.
I kind of want to hear that again. But anyways, that was some TMI from my end. But yeah, that's just the Chuseok vibe. And, like going back to the topic itself, there are so many reasons why young Koreans are not getting married. Yeah. But basically I feel like, nowadays young people just think, why? Like, I have so many options. Like,
No,
why do I have to get married?
It's interesting because, David was just telling us that he's not going down to Busan, to his hometown during the Chuseok holiday. But the only reason for that is because, again, he didn't get any tickets. Tickets are impossible to get almost. But some people actually prefer not to go down to their hometown because when they meet their relatives, you get like, depending on how old you are, first you get like, did you get into good college? How are your grades? It starts even before college. It goes, how are your grades? And that's what I got.
What are your grades? Me PTSD.
What college did you get into? What's your major? What are you going to be when you grow up? Did you get a job? And then it goes into, did you get a job? What job do you have? How come you don't have a job? And then to, when are you going to get married?
Yes.
And then to, if you do get, what happens when you get married?
What happens? I have no idea.
When are the grandkids coming out?
So
we're gonna stick with the marriage,
right?
But that's why I was saying a lot of people actually don't go hometown because they want to avoid all that stuff.
That's true.
That's not why you're not going, but you're 33 right now.
Yes.
Is that a proper? Is that the kind of the age when most people get married? Like I don't know the actual age now.
Yeah, so we're gonna go into the statistics a little later, but like in general, I would say like from the late 20s to the early 30s is like the right season for marriage.
Okay.
For most of the people, around me actually, if I just do like a David statistics,
sure.
My female friends, 70 to 80% of them have already gotten married, I would say.
Oh, wow. Okay,
yes.
Okay.
And for males, it's a little bit different. So some males, delay it for a while. So right now it's 50-50 for my friends. So they're either married or either not. I'm on the other side.
So as a 33-year-old and your guy friends being married, would that be considered like early though? Because the weird thing is I got married when I was 29. Okay, so like 29, 30.
Yeah.
And so everyone said, you got married so early, what happened? Did you 사고쳐? Did your wife get pregnant? I was like, no, man, my wife didn't get pregnant. Actually, I was the first amongst my friend to get married because I didn't preg on my girlfriend. So I was like the first one, right? But they said it was early.
Yeah.
And so that's considered very early now.
I would say like if you get married before 30 as a male, then that would be considered pretty early because I don't know anybody around me that got married at that age.
So let's look at some facts and figures here related to this, right? And then like later on talk about it because we need the numbers.
Right.
So what numbers do we have here? What kind of numbers do you have here?
Okay, so I did some research.
Yeah.
According to Statistics Korea, it's the official government ministry over there. And in 2024, the number of marriages reported were 222. Wow, this is 222,000. That's a hard number over there. And it's actually up by 14.8% from the previous year.
Base effect, though.
Yeah, so that might be a good signal. It's rebounding. But what's more important is if you compare it to the 1990s, where it peaked, it was actually at 400,000 back then. So like it's less than half right now. It's at like the half point.
Yeah.
So that's quite considering in terms of like the country's future, I guess, right? And right now, if you look at the average age of first marriage, that's pushed upward, what we were talking about. In 2024, it was about 33.9 years old for men. So I'm right at that moment.
You got 0.9 more years.
Yeah, 0.9 more years to be the average, to be fair. And for women, it's 31.6, so they get like 2 years earlier.
Sure.
Yeah. And in 2025, a survey by Hanguk Research said among unmarried people, 44% said that they intend to marry in the future. So they're willing to marry, basically. And 41% said they do not intend to marry at all.
David, I don't know if this is too personal on our first day here.
Okay.
But I mean, we have known each other for a bit, not long. But can I ask you, do you intend to get married in the future?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I love to get married. The thing is, I just don't have the right person in front of me.
People who say they don't have the right person in front of them, they just got high standards.
Maybe.
He's looking for the Karinas. He's looking for the An Eugenians. He's looking for the, that's what you're looking for.
My ideal type is Karina, indeed. But, you know, like, I really want to get married. I really want to get kids. I'm not like you know, I don't want to get married forever kind of guy. So, like, I'm a family guy, actually. I love seeing families. Yeah.
I know I have two types of friends. I have friends who want to get married.
Yeah.
And I have, again, friends that don't want to get married because with the pressure that comes having kids and with kids and all that stuff. But I wonder, though, like, what's the reasons for not marrying now, though?
Right. So currently, I guess the biggest reason people not getting married is definitely financial problems.
True.
So 45% cited that they lack the financial means to get married. We're going to dissect that a little deeper later.
Yeah.
But also, other than that, 41% cited that they haven't met a suitable partner as well. I would fall into that.
Yeah, because you haven't met the Karina yet. your Pak Bo-gums and the Cha Eun-woo's and the Karinas and the An Yu-jeans.
Everyone's getting roasted in the chat right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So basically, it's either financial or, like, you know, maybe you have high standards or you haven't met the right person. So, yeah, I mean, there are other reasons like careers or, like, maybe gender conflicts and such. But, like, those two are the biggest ones.
This is going to be a very fun segment because... Even though, so you're 33 years old, I'm 6 years older than you, and even with that 6-year gap, there's the perspectives, and our minds are very, very different.
Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And so I think we're going to get two sides of things right now. And so I'm going to be like, man, I'm going to be the conde again. You know, I'm going to be that guy that, what are the young kids these days, man? They can be doing this and that. And you're going to give us a look because I want to know what the young people think. And I want all of our listeners out there who are tuning into our show, our very first episode of K-Trend Monitoring Office, to give us your 2 cents on these issues as well. We're going to take a short song break here. I like this song. This is one of my favorite songs out here. 이선희.
Oh.
Meet him among them. 그중에 그대를 만나, right?
Oh.
You know the quote, you know what the funny thing about this song is?
What?
You could look at this title in both ways.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
You could think of it as this. 그중에 그대를 만나.
Okay.
There's so many people out there.
Yeah.
And I met that person.
The one, yeah.
That could be a good thing and a bad thing.
How
right?
so?
Because it's like, man, there's so many people out there. And I was still able to find you.
Okay.
Or, man, there were so many people there, but out of all of that, I got you.
So there's a little bit of sarcasm.
Yes. Ladies
right.
and gentlemen, short song break here. This is 이선희 with Meet Him Among Them, 그중에 그대를 만나. And the last track you heard, 이선희 with Meet Him Among Them, 그중에 그대를 만나. We're here with David Kim for the latest in K-Trend Monitoring Office. This is our new Monday segment here. We're talking about marriage. Why people aren't getting married. Young people aren't getting married. We have everyday stories and perspectives to look at. And you were saying that you have friends who have gotten married.
Yes.
You also have friends who are not married as well, I'm sure. What are some of your friends saying about marriage and what's kind of stopping them from getting married and things like that?
Yeah, most definitely. I guess the first thing that pops up into everyone's mind when you're considering marriage is housing.
Yeah, but see, I never understood that.
Really?
I never understood that.
Like, enlighten me, please.
Because why do you have to buy a house? Why do you have to have 전세? Because 전세 could be very expensive.
It's very expensive.
Why do you have that? Why is this society kind of putting people to say, if you're married, you have to buy a house and you have to get 전세?
Well, I don't know, actually. That's a good point. But I feel like in general, like the economy is very just volatile nowadays. Inflation's crazy. It's just very hard to survive.
Yeah.
And like as a single person, it's even hard to survive by myself. So the thought of like getting married with a person, having a baby and not having a proper roof and like enough space, that's kind of like fearful, you know?
It is true, but like I feel like you're okay. That's all the proper steps, right?
Yeah.
Like you get married and you think about having a baby, and so when you have a child, you don't want to move around a lot.
Yes.
And that was one of the reasons for why we kind of basically said we pulled the trigger and we bought a house too. We just didn't want to move anymore.
Right.
But it's like you have to live with what you have. You know?
That's also true.
Why try to take out outrageous mortgages? Why get into enormous debt?
Yeah.
just because the society tells you that you need to have a house. Like, did anybody ever tell you that, like, you need to have a house? Or did you meet anybody, any ex, we could burn ex-girlfriends now, right?
Yeah.
Any exes who were like, I want a house?
No, not directly.
Okay.
But they are like, you know what? If we do get married, like, what are you thinking? Like, what's in your roadmap? Like, are we thinking Gyeonggi-do or like Seoul or like Gangnam?
Why did you say Gyeonggi-do like it's bad? I live in Gyeonggi-do.
No, you know what I'm saying, right? Like, everyone wants to go to Seoul. And I mean, my exes were like that. They would be like kind of indirect about it. There is one person that's around me that always talks about like getting a house, which is my mom.
Okay.
And she'd be like, you need to buy a house. Like, it's 겸사겸사. It's like good for your own sake. Like, even if you get married or for like, like assets and, wealth and all that, like housing prices have been going up forever. So she's always been like, get a house, get married, go on, chop, chop.
I started off in a rent.
Okay.
My wife and I, we started off in a rent in a very humble 2-bedroom villa.
Yeah.
And then we moved to a 3-bedroom, and then we moved to a rent in an apartment, and then we kept on renting until we said, you know what? They keep kicking us out because the rent prices are going up.
Right.
And so we bought a house. We bought a humble house in Anyang, Gyeonggi-do. There's nothing wrong with Gyeonggi-do, people. Anyang is the hottest city, everybody.
Uh-huh.
And so, I mean, we got lucky.
Okay.
And we got lucky. And I mean, I didn't take out an enormous mortgage. I didn't go to an outrageous apartment. Because what am I, like, I just need a roof over my head.
Yeah.
But people look at things like you have to have the best of everything.
Right.
You have to go into a multi-complex apartment that has like the lottes and the jais and all the famous,
Well, I guess that's Korea for you. I mean, like, everyone wants to go to Seoul. And, like, speaking of, like, you getting a rent and all that, like, that's admirable, I would say, too. But, like, nowadays, the rent is also very different. Like,
no, rent is pretty...
Yeah, it's, like, up there. And, like, if we're not even talking about rent, worse it, like, when we go to, like, actually buying a house, like, there's a stat here that says, like, you'd actually have to save every penny of your salary without spending anything for 25 years.
Yes.
To just afford a decent apartment in Seoul. So I did my research. A decent apartment in Seoul is about in the range of 700K to maybe even $1 million, like $1 million.
Yeah.
So,
that's in dollars.
Yes.
Which means it's even more in some ways in Korean won.
That's crazy.
It's true. Which is why everyone is moving down to Gyeonggi.
Yeah.
And then the Gyeonggi prices are going up.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what happened to our area. But the other thing that I don't understand, okay, do you know how much I paid for my wedding? What?
I have no idea.
When I got married, aside from sudame, you know what sudame is, right?
Yes.
The studio dress, makeup.
Yeah.
I think that all of that it cost like about $2,000, maybe like $2,000.
Okay.
The wedding venue itself, we paid $500. 50만.
What?
500,000 won.
What?
Yes.
Because
we didn't need no hotel, we didn't need no fancy stuff. Like we got a place down in near where's it? Kuil, near Kuil station.
Okay.
And I mean, it wasn't a fancy place. It was pretty.
Wow.
But how much are people spending on weddings?
Yeah.
You have some numbers here.
Yeah. According to this article, it says you have to spend at least $25,000 for just a nice, like, decent venue. We're not even talking about hotels. Like, there was news about like weddings in the Shilla Hotel and whatnot, like before, and they go up to like 100,000 and stuff like that. So like people, they're competing which wedding halls they're getting married at. Like when you get that invitation and there's like, oh, this hotel, 5-star hotel, they're like, oh, they must be rich, Like people like to show off over here, and I don't know why it is like that, but there's a pressure for it.
What ruined this? Because people didn't care about if you were getting married, if you let's say Karina goes, David, I love you so much.
Oh wow.
I think we're gonna get married.
Okay.
And if Karina says she wants to get married and she goes, I don't care about the venue, are you gonna be spending $100,000 on some Shilla hotel?
Oh no,
right?
No, not at all.
It doesn't matter, right? As long as you're in love and because it's just symbolic.
Right.
A wedding is just symbolic. And also it's take the wedding money too. It's business.
That's another factor too, yeah.
But what ruined all this? You mentioned this. The wedding invitations, showing that off.
Yeah.
Social media ruined everything.
I think so. Definitely. And also, I feel like, it's hard to put blame on, but from my perspective, I feel like, I'm like you. I want to do like a humble, nice wedding that I can just cherish with my wife. But most cases in Korea, the weddings are more geared towards like satisfying the parents.
Family, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
family. It's like a show off for the parents. Like, oh, my son is getting married at this hotel, and we have this many guests, and our buffet is like this. So...
No, you can't do buffet. You have to do course meal.
Oh yes, nowadays it's course meal. Yeah.
I hate going to course meal weddings. I love buffets. I want to pick what I want to eat.
Yeah.
It's a very showy thing, and I know it's a celebration, and I know we say that in weddings. It's not a celebration of you and the wife or you and your husband, but it's a celebration of the family.
Yes.
But I just at the same time, and the other crazy thing is all of a sudden everyone's proposing in Korea.
Really?
People didn't used to propose in Korea.
Okay. Oh, like the Western way of kneeling down and like all that.
Getting like a fancy hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Getting like bags.
Yes.
And the H bags.
And there are even bridal showers now too.
Okay. There's bridal showers and there's also the gender reveals.
Yes.
I can't believe Korea is doing this. Which is all what? I mean, this is all like social media
Social media. Indeed.
Yeah. I feel like social media is ruining for everybody. And it's just jumping up anything.
Right.
But there's the other thing, right? The gender expectations.
Yes. So, I mean, this is a little bit of a tricky part to explain. I'm going to be very careful on this, but there is definitely like gender dynamics in like the trend of not getting married as well too.
Yeah.
And I can't pinpoint one reason in the gender conflicts, but like to give some examples, there is like radical feminism and like anti-male rhetoric, like hate towards males and all that. So Korean women and Korean men just hate each other. They're like tired. And I'm going to marry like a Western guy. I'm going to marry like a Western girl or a Japanese girl. Like these trends are surging. So I've observed that on online communities, but
I've seen that.
Yeah, not around me, I guess. But then we can actually go into like real social issues as well too, such as like we still have like the Confucianist patriarchal society, which a lot of women are fed up with. Like that takes into factor as well too, because like they're fearing, oh, if I get married to this guy who's from like, I don't know, a conservative family, do I have to like
the 제사 and today's Chuseok, right? So, like,
exactly.
제사s.
I'm just living my good life all alone, but do I have to do that? And also there's, for women mostly, it's like, oh, I still want to continue my career, but like after I get married and have a child,
very true.
Will I be able to do that? Will I have to be stuck at home doing all the household chores by myself? So these kind of dynamics, I think, take into account.
Because think about it, I mean, women too. I mean, they work so hard to get to where they are in their careers, and sometimes when you are pregnant, and you're about to have a child, you have to basically stop all of that,
right?
And it's not fair to either lose the job or put a hold on your career where you can continue to advance. And so that's another thing that we see compared to back before where women were kind of believed to have only stayed at home, right? They just had to do the house stuff. But now women have careers.
Right.
They're very successful women. And because of that, they're going, I need to protect my career first over everything else. We're going to continue to talk about why young people ain't getting married, but you chose a song here. We usually ask our guest and you, David, to choose a guest. You chose a song, RM Seoul. Why?
Yeah, so I chose it because like everyone wants to get married and get a house in Seoul because everything's centered around Seoul. And I feel like Seoul is like a big problem too, like, you know, all the housing prices going up. So like because of that, RM Seoul actually depicts Seoul as like a good place, but also a bad place too. So it's a good love and hate relationship. So that's why I chose it. It's like, there's everything in Seoul, but do we actually have to be in Seoul? Like, you know, those kind of vibes.
Exactly. We're going to take a listen to that song. This is RM with Seoul. And that was RM with Seoul. As David was saying, you know, there's this kind of pressure that you want to get a house in Seoul. Look, if you can't afford a house in Seoul, just buy a house in Anyang. And when everybody's coming to Anyang to buy a house, what it does is drives up the demand. And then my house prices go up. That's what happens.
There's a motive here.
That's right. That's right. No, but it's crazy. It's crazy how expensive the apartments in Seoul have become. Let's talk about, because the good thing about this segment, and I feel this a lot amongst our listeners, we have listeners from every age group.
Right.
Old, my age, getting old, right? To young, to students and all that stuff, you know, and And depending on their age and also the culture they're raised from, we get different answers. Right. And it's especially the same here in Korea. We often say Korea is a very fast evolving society.
It is.
I can't keep up with the young people these days, man. Like
I can't either.
I think I'm relatively young still, but I can't.
Me too.
I get called big konde, you know? Like now I'm starting to understand my parents. There's the historical context and the generational change, right? And so let's talk about the previous generation where I guess our parents, because I mean, even though I'm a little bit older than you, our parents are probably around the same age. So let's talk about our parents' generation.
Yeah. I think even before we go into the parents' generations, we could maybe even extend it to grandparents as well, too. Because like, I mean, you know, like they lived in like the Joseon era, maybe like the end of it, to the Korean War, to like the, you know, the
Joseon era. Dude,
some of them. Like I'm talking about the influence.
Actually, you know what?
Like the Japanese colonial rule.
Yeah. No, my parents were, my grandparents were born around that time.
Yeah. So some of them lived in that era, and the Confucianist influence there was crazy. So actually, my grandma married my grandfather through an arranged marriage.
Okay.
Yeah, so back then that was pretty common. Like, you know, families would say like, "Oh, I have a daughter, I have a son. Like, you want them to marry?" Like, so that was common. So it's very conservative. And then from our parents' generations, I guess Koreans got like a little more modernized, and they pursued love a little bit more.
Yes.
So I was very intrigued in that. Like, love is a modern concept, you know, in marriage.
Come to think of it, then, like starting from my grandparents, like they went the unconventional way because my grandparents on my dad's side, they were both from North Korea, and so they escaped to the south and met in the south,
right?
And you know, they both found out that they were from North Korea. They were like in a small village, and they both found out they were from North Korea. You know, fell in love, got married relatively late for the time.
Yeah,
so like late 20s was considered very late at the time for my grandparents.
Right.
So and then my parents also dated. Our parents' age too. There was a lot of, you know, meetups.
Yes,
right?
yes, 소개팅. My parents, exactly, they got married through a 소개팅 as well, too.
Very nice.
Yeah, they got married around like 28, 27.
Okay.
That's pretty early considered, like relatively to today's era, right?
But that was considered normal?
It was very normal.
Yeah.
It's very normal back then. But
because
nowadays...
because my parents got married when they were 30, and that was considered late.
Yes.
Back then.
Yes. Like, people are like, oh, you should have a son by now.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, nowadays, it's become totally different because, like, people expect, like, career stability. They want economic independence. They want to get a little stable, like, get housing before, you know, getting married, personal growth and all that. The age just goes up and up and up.
You know who I blame? It's funny. Okay. You know, it's funny that it's our parents be like, why aren't you getting married and stuff?
Yeah.
But it's actually our parents who ruined it because what did they do when we were kids? That we have to succeed.
Okay.
We have to get a great career. We have to get, first of all, go into a good school.
Yeah.
Get a great career. Make a lot of money.
Right.
Buy a house. Right. All the things. Right. They set up all of this thing.
Okay.
And then we're going, okay, we're working towards that path.
Yeah.
And so we have this thing where it's like, if we haven't achieved that yet, then that means we're not ready to get married yet.
Yeah, we're like gaslighted, I guess, by our parents.
I'm serious, man. It's their fault, yo.
Oh, wow. We've actually concluded what's the reason towards like this bad marriage trend. It's our parents.
No, it's just it's the pressure.
Yeah, it is. It's the pressure, that the social pressure that we're getting that's set by like our parents' generations, maybe. Like, you have to excel, you have to succeed, you have to have a stable job and all that. That's really just like on our shoulders, I would say. Yeah.
But for a lot of like, so I've noticed that from our parents' stance, once you become like our parents' age, both my parents are almost nearing their 70s.
Yes.
You know, 68, 69. And they're at the age where they're so proud to be grandparents.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so you have this path. They go, first achievement is their children do well.
Yep.
Second achievement is their children get married.
Yes.
And then their final achievement, grandkids.
Grandkids, yeah.
Right? And so, it's a big thing. And so my uncle... richest in our family, dude got a building and everything like that.
Oh, wow.
But the thing with him was like he has an only daughter who wasn't getting married.
Oh no, that's heartbreaking for him.
And because he controls the family money, we're like, we can't talk about it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he was like, Taya's getting married next year. I was like, oh,
Oh.
Now he's coming out to all the family meetings. He's happy.
He's proud and happy.
He's buying us food and
For
stuff
sure.
like that. It's a big thing.
Very
but
big.
you can't press your kids to do so. I think everyone has their own age and own sort of
life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and speaking of life though, like I guess like our parents have been giving us pressure, but also it's a movement from our end as well too. Like maybe it's like a repulsive reaction towards the pressure. So nowadays people are like, you know what? Like I don't want to get married. Come to think of it, I have Netflix, I have like delivery food, I have my dog, I can go traveling. There's so many options. Like, you know, compared to our parents' generation, they had much of a little bit of more like conservative society with less options. But nowadays there's so many forms of joy, entertainment, things to
or why live with one person when you could live with new person every few months.
Oh, I didn't think like of that. Oh, okay, that's a little open-minded for me, but yeah, I guess technically we can say that.
You know, things like that.
Yeah.
No, but I'll say this though. I know financial issues were like the number one thing for why people aren't getting married. Mm-hmm. But you could think of it this way. If you get married, sure, there's the first sort of, you know, payments that you have to make when it comes to marriages and things like that, finding a place to live together, even if you don't buy it or 전세. But if you get married, you don't have to go on dates and not allowed to make dates anymore.
Okay.
Save money there.
Yeah.
You have two incomes.
That's
incomes
true.
coming together.
Yeah.
Right? That's more money.
Right.
So that's all good.
But then I want to ask, when you have a child, does that money like make up for like those, you know, like the education fees or like the diapers and everything? Like
I have 6 jobs.
Oh, okay. You're not the right person to ask. But like,
no. But that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a lot. That's why I work so much. I mean, that's not the only reason. I just like to work a lot.
Yeah.
But it is true. There is pressure, but there's ways to still overcome that, I think.
Right.
You don't have to be making millions of dollars and things like that.
Yeah.
David, this was real good. We're going to continue to talk about social issues, cultural issues, even entertainment issues, sports issues, every Mondays in the second hour of the program. Before I let you go, you chose a song from Akmu called Freedom. Why?
Yes. There has been a generational mindset shift. We are not in the age of like we have to get married. So a lot of young people are pursuing freedom more and more, their own self-realization. So that's why I chose the song.
There you go. David, man, thank you so much. And welcome to our company, The Kulture Inc. And I'll see you again next Monday.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Happy Chuseok to you. Sending them out of the studio, we'll take a listen to a song from Akmu with Freedom.